So we're doing a gathering for people who are organizers for this event. And you can see that we are having very good food here. So that's one of the perks of joining us. As you can tell, people are enjoying. So let's maybe get started. DK, do you mind if I start with you? Can you share with us kind of your experience? I'm going to go sideways so they can see your face. CK, would you like to share a few words?
On what?
on this event and on what your thoughts participating in it and.
Okay, I am honored to be in the committee, and I'm honored to be part of the planning process. Although I didn't really work that much. But anyway, this is an important year for Singapore history, so we are glad that we are doing something more significant this year. And we hope that everyone can contribute and help and make it a successful event.
Thank you, CK. Sheila, can I have you and Emily for a second? I would like to introduce two of the ladies who helped a big contribution into the vision. I would, if you guys will introduce yourself, your name, and your thoughts so far in putting into the vision.
Yeah, no. I'm Sheila Goh. I helped out with kind of the initial creative part of coming up with the proposal. What I really enjoyed was working with the people that was on the team. Everybody was very excited. Everybody was energetic. And everybody was very, I think we worked together really well because we fill in whenever somebody is, because everybody has work, everybody has families. We fill in where other people could not fill the spot at that point. And then what I really enjoyed about working with the team this time around was that that bite-sized model that Richard created. I think that was very easy for the rest of us to with busy schedules, commitment for just 6 weeks. I know I can do that, and then a choice to come in more if you want. And I think that really worked out for us. Yeah. Emily, go.
Hi, my name is Emily. This is actually the first time I've contributed to I guess a program at this level, and it was very well organized. Thanks to Richard and I guess like Mark was leadership, so and then Sheila you jumped in too. So as someone who has no experience doing such things, it's pretty amazing to see what community can come together and do for like it's pro bono. Just basically to foster community and like closeness amongst Singaporeans like ourselves. So as a chef by trade, so generally has not much time. I actually set aside quite a bit of time for this. And during that point, I was also opening a restaurant. So
I don't know how you did it.
I don't know how I did it. I felt like I was like the least involved, but it was a great opportunity for me to showcase like my creativity and also input as to how we could incorporate more arts and culture into programs. So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to hand over to Hizam for a minute. He's one of our new addition, and he has helped out a lot with our promotion efforts. Can you give a few words about your experience so far?
Yeah. So I'm Hizam, and I live in San Francisco. And so, I love volunteering with Singaporean groups here because this was, takes me back home. And, I've always wanted to give back. And the work that I'm working on or will be working on as well is I'm in branding, and I'm a trained graphic designer. So I'm helping out with all of the graphic design work. I don't know what other work that's happening right now, but like the promotional work, the design work, the interior work, I guess. So I'm here to help, and I'm happy to be part of the group.
Thank you so much, Isam.
Goodbye.
All right, Mark.
Thank you. I'm all ready to start the screen share. So enjoy, everyone. I'm glad you got to meet several of our volunteers. They were having a first actual gathering in person after so many basically Zoom calls and other kinds of WhatsApp chats that's been happening. So let me share. All right, let's get to it. So today, first, for all those of you who don't know, a little introduction about Singapore Connect, and then follow about this SG60, a legacy, the event that we've been bringing together volunteers and vendors and many others to hold for SG60, Singapore's 60th year of independence, and what's in it for you, what we'd like to offer, what are the opportunities, some details on the structure. You've seen some of the volunteers so far talk about the organization, the ability to segment the work into bite-sized chunks. And we'll like to also talk about what we think are your rewards for coming to join our team. So first off, Singapore Connect is a grassroots nonprofit corporation. We are volunteer-led and based in the San Francisco Bay Area. By the way, just a thumbs up. Is everyone hearing me just fine? Good. And we've been doing things since 2005. So hopefully you've come to one or more of our events. We've done almost 300, but that includes online events as well, and served almost 10,000 attendees. And really we're for everyone, especially Singaporeans and friends and family, to connect over events along the lines of fun, food, fit, and think. When we reach out in our channels, we estimate we reach about 2,000 people in the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, what Singapore Connect is not, I put this to address some possible misconceptions because our name is very similar to other Singapore-related entities, which are most likely part of the Singapore government or Singapore government linked. And we are not, we are volunteers, we are not full-time paid staff. We're not part of the Singapore Global Network, although we may get sponsorship from them. We're not also part of the Singapore Consulate General that holds the National Day receptions annually. That's also, that's part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We get our funding from, in some cases, these entities in very targeted ways, as well as from ticket sales and other corporate and individual sponsors, sometimes in the form of goods or services or gifts used as prizes. Go through some of our more major events with a large number of participants. The Singapore Community Day was done in partnership with the Overseas Singaporean Unit in person, 700 over participants. We've got also an online event because during COVID, we couldn't do National Day in person. And because it could reach anyone in the US practically who would tune in over Zoom, we actually saw also several hundred participants. And in 2021, we did an online hybrid National Day event with participation from, I think, 9 locations, including 4 cities in the US and 5 locations in the Bay Area, with a combination of a live stream program and in-person dining. So we've had some really big outreaches, but what we're thinking of is an even larger scale event for SG60. And Richard, I want to know if you might want to speak a little when we come to the next slide. First, I will share that from my Singapore Connect point of view, Richard has been an awesome volunteer, has led several events and organized. We came together a year plus ago to talk about an event that would be reusable and scalable, meaning a way we can do this again. So we want to document and be organized and capture the process such that not just us, but others can be inspired and have a template to do the same. When we started, Richard came up with an idea, as well as with working with other people like Sheila and Emily and many others in the team CK, of a Singapore festival. And may I have Richard, if you have time, to kind of go through the gist of the planned Singapore festival.
Thank you, Mark. I hope you guys can hear me. I know it's a bit noisy in the background, but
Yes.
yeah, but thank you. So Singapore Festival I don't know how many of you have actually attended festival from other culture, Japanese, Koreans, Indonesians. They have all been able to pull it together without any government help. It's all volunteer based, and I felt very touched that I have the opportunity to help out with those and to see how they grow and how they've done it. So coming recently itself, we always get the questions, what is it to be Singaporean? Who are you guys? Are you Chinese? So are you going to do all those Chinese dance? Or are you Malay? Or Indians? So we want to kind of give people a taste of what does it mean to be multicultural. And so that's where this Singapore Festival kind of started. I want to kind of show my neighbors, my friends who are Americans, who are Indians, who are from India and others, that, what does it mean to be Singapore? They know all the stuff on the news already, so they don't need to know the news more. So this is the opportunity for us to showcase ourselves. And I hope you guys will make the effort to come and volunteer, to come and sponsor us, to come and enjoy in this immersive experience that is Singapore. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Richard. Richard, would you have anyone that is interested to walk through, or would you like me to do this walkthrough just to give a snippet of what we've drawn, envisioned, and been working on? I
How
can do
about
so.
how about you go through it, because it's a bit noisy on my end.
Okay, please. Thank you. So I'm going to show you snippets, which will be something that we want to make a reality, but given all kinds of scenarios, this may not represent the final thing. This is the basis. Let's think of it like a startup, right? We've got lots of ideas that we are briskly working to architect and execute. So I'm going to walk through what we'd like to see, what the attendee flow could look like, rather than having a big pasar malam with a bit like you can enter from every entrance. We have a defined entrance and a defined exit. So it's a bit like an IKEA store walkthrough. And this is kind of coming in from the viewpoint of thinking about those who are not familiar with Singapore, or those who are actually of, say, second generation Singaporeans, meaning their parents may be residing here. They are mostly residing, like children of these families here. And it is something that we can do to bring impressions more than just what they get out of visits to Singapore. And then the second one would be those like our neighbors, our co-workers, asking what is Singapore. So this is a little bit where we can do that's reasonable, taking material that we've put together, a walkthrough of the history of Singapore. And it came up with an idea that the iconic MRT could be a vehicle as like a motif. This is a ride through Singapore's history. And we can start with the pre-Raffles days, the Sang Nila Utama, to the British colony, to the trading side, but coming to the modern Singapore and pictures, visuals, strategic use of props, depictions of from murals of Singapore homes and culture over the ages. Then we get to the part that we think most people will like also is the entertainment. So we are lining up, and we'll love people to come in. If you know of those who can perform, that can be part of this Singapore story. So could be comedians, could be musicians, could be singers, and other performers that go on the stage. So we've got that, and we've got this vision, and it's actually looking what is implementable. That this is on your left, a vision of the stage. On your right is a vision of the marketplace zone, where we can have booths. And there will be an iconic jewel modeled after the jewel waterfall. Not done with real water practically, but we got some very implementable ideas that can be practical. And finally, the food section. Not to say that it is a kopitiam as in the brand name, but as a we've got food vendors that you know and love in the Bay Area that are coming together in a team to come up with a format that will give people a taste of Singapore food. And the thematic layout would be kind of like the gardens by the bay. So we hope that this storyboard, which has also been was actually come up from I think a second generation Singaporean, not it's like a student, right? That we've inspired, and this was taken as a next step from what the creative team did in coming up with the idea of Singapore a legacy. This concept and the walkthrough into something that we would love to build and make. So what are the opportunities for you? Be part of our dynamic team that we've really grown to over 20 people to continue this passage through the event, which will be in September, to make this vision a reality. We've really gotten very far. We've got people working not just in Singapore, but also abroad, and not just in San Francisco, I meant, but also abroad, such as in Singapore. And we've got volunteers also from other US cities as well. So we got to make, create, build, and share, as in document what we've done so that we are ready to share this for the next time. You've got opportunities to lead, to strategize, organize, make a process, and help people execute, including our students that can come on board, be the guides, be the mentors. And we talked about who can be artists, who are performers. Come and show your talent, share your art, share your musical or performance or entertainment skills, inspire others. Now, as Richard and I alluded earlier, we don't want this to be a very unstructured and open-ended level of commitment. We've come up with a 3-tier structure where you can state on the get-go. Richard, if you'd like to chime in, please do, on 3 tiers of engagement. Richard, actually, there wasn't much background noise. If you're still on, please feel free.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, so let me go through that really quick. So we know everybody has to work as family, and this is a big commitment. And not counting the fact that this is not a small scale event. We are targeting as many as 2,000 attendees. So what we basically structure is this: the tier 1 are basically people who has the commitment and the ability to spend time, 6 to 8 hours a week itself, to contribute to this event all the way between now till October. That's when everything is done, and when they do a wrap up. Then secondly, we know that there are a lot of people who have family, they have summer vacation and stuff like that. They can't do all the way from start to end. So we created a tier 2, which is a short-term commitment. So they are like 6 weeks. So in this 6 weeks itself, you're giving like 8 to 10 hours a week itself, and then giving a full in, and there's actual tangible deliverable that you can take away, that you can be proud of, especially for students. You are taking away something that you can point to and say, I have done this. And you put it on your LinkedIn profile, your resume, and it makes a big difference to the employers. They look at you because now you're actually different. And then tier 3 are basically on the event weekend. So it's going to be 3 days because we need to set up, we need to have the event day, and then we need to strike. So that's where you come in and you help out to organize the labor and everything itself and do the work. Naturally, we have to use proper labor. So you're not the manual labor, but you are actually the actual coming in to help to guide to do the necessary work itself. So that's basically the 3 tiers. Mark, back to you.
Yes. So I think we're almost coming to the end of the formal bit. We'd love to take Q&A. These are just some of the benefits we expect you to get in whatever capacity, tier 1 to 3. You can join us and our team, and whether it is to network, to have fun, to get to lead, mentor, coach, produce something awesome, have the experience of the first, we believe, large scale, I mean, beyond 1,000 attendees, kind of event that a grassroots organization, probably within the whole Singapore overseas community, and certainly within the US is bringing to life. If you need, and it helps, certificates of participation or documentation for service hours, we are a nonprofit corporation. We can figure this out. So there has to be a reward, and I'll just share some of the selection of motivational feedback. And I don't know, Richard, if you at the close would like to maybe gather a few people and in our potluck, just to see all that enthusiasm and passion they have. This is just a selection of clips. I won't read through them. These are selection from our post-event surveys from past events where people thanked us and really felt the passion and love that we put in as an organization, as a team, to bring these kinds of events. So to close, I hope that you can join us. And Richard, I don't know if you can share a bit of a thank you from the team in the potluck room, and we can maybe open up for questions, and any of us can try and take them.
All right, give me a minute while I set it up properly. So guys, so everyone, I think now's a good opportunity for you to kind of share a bit on what you think are the motivation you decided to come do this work. And we are going live here. So yeah, look at everybody. Yes, we're going live. So I'm going to turn off my headset back to you guys. All right. So you're looking at the room where we have the volunteer gathering and enjoying ourselves. So can I kind of have, the people who has been working and has spoken earlier to talk about what were your motivation in doing this? I mean, and we have spouse here who has supported the event indirectly. What do you feel going in, helping your husband, your wife contribute to this event? Feel free.
The spouse?
Yeah, let's start with the spouse. Yeah, let's start with the spouses.
Maybe I'm Malaysian, so
Come closer to each other.
We do it all for the food. So for my husband, because I get invited to events where we like awesome broadcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Today. Like, yeah, this is just a great. Being spouse is good because you get all the benefits and
exactly.
Who's that?
I support my husband. I am Richard's wife. I'm very proud of my husband and the work that these wonderful people put together for the country of Singapore. I wish Singapore again. So I could enjoy it with a lot of love. But Richard has come alive when he is heading up this project, and I feel like he is much happier. It brought him a lot of joy and fulfillment. So thank you for allowing him to be part of this project.
All right. So for the other organizer, would you just talk about what motivated you to even do this? You guys are making a big sacrifice here.
Purely selfish reasons, I have to say. I feel like as someone who's mostly been in the arts industry, there's a lot. I feel like the angle towards in which we gear our programs could be more educational about what goes on behind the scenes with like food related type things, especially when what's it called? Well, Singaporeans take huge pride in their food. So as someone who's a chef, I personally wanted to be representing in that aspect in order to give more insight and also to shine light on what chefs and how food comes about in Singapore and how important the culture is to Singaporeans food-wise. So it's all related to food.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Sheila?
It is SG60. I think that's extremely different here. And I think for all of us who live overseas, we find ourselves loving our country more and more every single day. And I just thought, rather than always saying, oh, I have no time, or I can't do that, I gave myself a challenge, and that was pretty rewarding. And also because we just said, just 6 weeks, I'm like, I think I can do. And I think that part was really helpful for us to be able to commit. And really, he let me go after 6 weeks. So thank you for his work. But I think that was the thing. Like for me, like SG60 is a different year, and I felt very happy that I could contribute to my country that I love so much.
Thank you. And
I think just to piggyback what you said about SG60, and it's a significant milestone for the country. And I feel like I've been away. I was just telling you about. I've lived in the United States longer than I've lived in Singapore. So, but I still feel I'm Singaporean. I still feel like I'm Malay. I still feel all of the cultural things that still draws me back home. And I'll never get that away from me. Like as they say, like you can take someone from Singapore, but you can't take Singapore out of you. So that's for me is giving back and just being with other Singaporeans. It's just so easy. Like so from scratch.
That's really good.
Yeah, so
it's very good.
Everybody understood what that dish is. Like I bring it to somebody else that's not Singaporean. So I just like that connection that I have, just instant connection that I have. Maybe formerly strangers, but now that's.
Thank you. SDK, you want to close out by sharing your thoughts?
That's great that, as they were saying, this year is a significant year in Singapore. So I'm glad that we all have a chance to contribute to something bigger. Usually we have Chinese New Year, we have whatnot, but those are relatively small scale events. So we have a chance to do something big, and then I'm glad that we are drawing more volunteers to help out in all this event. And of course, for me personally, it is also a chance to meet people up, to just have to casual chit chat. It's very rewarding. And then yes, so yeah, so although it might be a 6 week spring or something, but I think sometimes there's no getting of that. Yeah, because well, I'm also involved in the community work, so besides the actual event, there's still the SingaporeConnect community here that I'm very proud and honored to be part of. Thank you.
Can I just add one more point? I think also I was very inspired by Richard, by Mark, by TK, by Jasmine, and I realized, oh gosh, these guys have been putting in the work every single year. Yeah. And I'm like, if they do it every single year, it's also not fair. I think we need people to step up. It's a lot of work in the
Right. So we actually have a new Singaporean coming in. Michael, would you like to say a few words? You're also one of the organizer. We're going live here just for your contact.
Very happy to volunteer for this event. It's part of
Anna? Oh.
Thanks to you.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mark.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And please, anyone, do you have any questions for the team? Feel free to go unmute or drop a question in the chat, and we'll try and answer them.
Hi, Mark and team. This is Flaviana, and I just wanted to congratulate everybody for all the hard work. It looks like everything is coming together so fantastically. I just have a question. When is the actual event going to take place? What is the date?
We haven't announced it, but it's going to be a Saturday or Sunday, a weekend, in I think the 3rd week of September.
Thank you.
And part of our kind of circumspectness first is that the event venue has not been technically in contract with us because we're still negotiating, and as part of that, we have to keep these details under wraps as part of their clause. So thanks for your understanding.
Hey, Mark.
Hi,
Boon, did you
Peng.
say that you're expecting over 1,000 people attendees?
3,000. We're targeting 3.
3,000.
Yes.
Wow, that's a huge place. Okay.
Yes. The
Got
venue
it.
is also pretty huge, over 30,000 square feet.
Hmm. Got it. Yeah.
A lot of opportunity to implement the stage and the walkthrough.
Yeah, I can see a lot of work in the visuals to set up.
We'd love to have help. We love what
Sure.
you've done for us in the past,
We
and
can do that.
a lot of interesting talent and help you can bring in, whether as tier 1 or tier 2 or even tier 3.
Yeah, I can do either one, tier
Mhm.
1 or 2, no problem.
Please, I'll get in touch with you. Thank
Okay,
you so much for all
no
your
worries.
volunteer help too.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Okay.
And you must remember the Community Day 2019. I didn't mention it, but it was also I think an event that we did, and I think were you part of that?
2019. Yeah, I think so. In
John,
somewhere in
SF. Yeah.
the one in the Mission Bay.
Mission Bay that was 2016, and that one
16.
was something that OSU did. It
Yeah. That was a huge event.
was a huge
A lot of-
event. This is different. That
Okay.
one is OSU government entity.
Mm,
This one is us, a grassroots organization.
mm.
So
I don't
we're trying
remember
to
the one in
scale, but not
2019.
necessarily the same uh, kind of government paid, kind of
Yeah.
yeah, model,
Okay.
government paid staff model. Yeah. So we're very excited though. We think that in examples of this, as we've heard from other communities, and we don't think there's any reason why Singaporeans and our community can't do something like this, and our friends.
Interesting to see what we can do.
Thank you.
Looking forward to that. Cool.
So you can always find out through our website, SingaporeConnect.org, and of course, just contact us in any way convenient. But the website has convenient information and contact us links, or you can use your favorite WhatsApp, email, other channels.
Okay. Okay, we'll connect later on about when more information. Okay.
Happy to do a one-on-one conversation, Richard and I, or with another part of our core team. That's there. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna hold on. We don't have to keep this call, to the hour because I know all of you are busy. So
Yeah.
just hang on for a sec. We're happy to have shared. Happy to take any questions anytime. I'm just passionate about this, and we want to involve the community. I mean, there's no fun doing this without people coming together. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna maybe hold on for another minute, and if not, no more questions. Be glad to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day weekend or a start to that. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing, hope you, even if this event does not work for you, that you remember Singapore Connect and tell other people, your friends or family, and or even uh, those who are curious about Singapore, that might just give them a, when we start our marketing in full swing, you should be able to check us out. We will have a SG60 dedicated webpage with marketing information and all that registration dedicated to this. Hope to have very soon in summer. as we pull in our team and get to that. So very exciting. Thank you everyone for your participation. Again, to the folks in the potluck in Oakland, thank you again from my bottom of my heart, and all those who joined. I hope you sense our enthusiasm and passion.